I've been realizing that one thing it takes for someone to be a great bass player is to have found a way to get your voice to come through your instrument. And with some of these guys, it's been a matter of innovating and finding a way of playing that no one else has used before. Something really unique to them. Like with Entwistle, he had these, he uses 3 fingers, and he has these clusters of notes that he plays with his bass line that doesn't sound like anyone else. You know, that's really just Entwistle and his voice that has been successfully rooted into his instrument. You know that it's him.
Playing the trumpet with these fingers and playing the French horn with those fingers, it kind of loosened me up, and I played piano for 6 years anyway, so it kind of came natural that I'd use all my fingers. And, you know, most bass players were playing with their thumb or a pick, and I started playing with 2 fingers, and I thought, oh, I'll use that one as well.
It's a circle picking technique that I use, and as you get going faster, I can't slow it down. You'll have to watch me do it on tape. As you slow it down, you'll see that I'm actually traveling this way with the pick. Hitting this string a couple of times, hitting this string, then back down.
Tell me about the drumstick fingers thing.
I wish I had them. I think they're upstairs.
Oh, okay.
I call them funk fingers, and they're drumsticks attached to these 2 fingers about that long. We found a way to kind of put elastic around the stretch elastic around the drumstick, and if the drumsticks were too heavy, they'd break a string every time I hit. If they were too light, they'd be too bouncy. If the elastic was too loose, they'd go flying into the audience. If it was too tight, my fingers would turn purple.
I really begin to see so much more clearly how much your personality informs what you have to say with your instrument and how you go about saying it.
One thing you'll notice is that none of the other bass players did anything like this in between their bass lines. That's what gives me the competitive edge.
Let's see, a wrestling move would be,
I'm hearing you.
what I'm trying to do more lately is try and play all 4 fingers as one big flipper, because I think the longer you stay on the string, the fatter sound you can get. So that's what I'm really trying to get lately is the flipper sound, and that's really wrestling.
If you're a good musician, it's your personality that you're playing. You're not playing something from a book or notes or something, you're actually playing your heart.
Keeping your ears open, finding your own voice, I don't think that that's all of it. I think that there's more. What are these guys really thinking about while they're playing? What's happening in the mind of the bass player while he's playing? How does he decide to suddenly go up the neck or to suddenly play a lower note? Is it subconscious or conscious?
I feel like I just got to, put some drama. I got to move the tune a little bit. I got to freak people out the front row a little bit. And they're like, why is he doing that? That's what I'm doing. I'm trying to get them to wonder. I'm trying to shake them up a little bit. Peas and carrots, peas and carrots.
Well, let me ask you now, what would make you want to play a really deep note? That's the opposite of the question.
Yeah, because I want them to almost be a womb. I want to bring them back in. I want them to feel like I'm a big couch just swallowing them.
There, that note. What are you thinking?
I really had no idea what I was playing on this part. I was trying to make it swim a little bit, but I was still sort of stuck on the chart.
Swim, you mean groove-wise?
Yeah, just sort of more melody. Just trying to get away from just playing the root.
The roots.
Yeah, I'm definitely thinking Paul McCartney, you know, whenever I do those big,
like a stretching,
long stretch-ups. But I have different techniques, and so for slide stuff, I really don't leave the string I'm on. I'll play all sorts of stuff just on one string.
Right.
But for more articulate stuff, or if the line is a line that I know I'm supposed to play, I won't do all the sliding. I could slide around, but I'll do more of a finger pattern.
Okay.
But when I'm just getting into a song too, like right there, that was a lick that I probably, if I had more time with the song, would have developed and maybe even played it, you know, in the beginning.
It's just something you stumbled on?
It's just a lick.
So what is it like to see yourself play like that?
It's not too bad, I guess.
Yeah.
It's not as scary as it could be a lot worse.
It was June 14th, 1995. I was in Lake Sunapee, New Hampshire, and I had just gotten off of work, and my brother showed up and asked me if I'd like to check out this hot new band called Gov't Mule. A friend of ours knew Warren, actually, and that's how we were introduced, and we hit it off well, became friends for a while, and then one thing just snowballed.
See, now that's a snapshot. This should be a still.
They married in June the 14th of 1997.
We're gonna throw this okay, but I'm throwing it up to you. Stay there.
Look at you guys. Portrait of love. Okay, I'm fading out on this note.
You have to have your voice, but you know, you also have to forget your voice and become an open conduit to whatever's there. You know, like the truck goes by, you have to let that come through. It's a surrendering. Like with Larry Graham, for example, he knows a million great bass notes and licks that he can play, but you know, he would just forget all that and just play one note over and over again, and you know, allow him to get himself to get into a trance state by doing that.
Show your neighbor what a friend is for. An open heart and an open door. First one reaches for his mother's breast. He knows up and down and he knows east from west. Takes more than a hammer, more than a hammer and nails.
So I'm standing here outside this studio. This bass player tribute album is being made, and I'm doing take 4, and in the first few takes I realized that I was thinking about what I was about to say, and this take here I'm not thinking what I'm going to say next, and that's kind of how it goes with bass playing, maybe playing music in general, that you do better when you don't think.
More than a hammer and nails.
I never rehearse. If somebody's calling me to do a session, I know I have time and it's something that I don't have a lot of changes, because I'd rather see what's happening, what's going to happen. You know, what the drummer's going to play, or then that's so much more freer and organic.
Sometimes something comes into your mind, pops into your head, and it's complete, you know, and it might be a bar, 2 bars, or just something you hear in the future. It's like, oh, of course, you know, the music should go there. You start thinking, you know, the music's ahead of you and you're just kind of being dragged along.
And a lot of the time, you kind of make it up as you go along, and just things fall into place, you know. You don't even think about it, really. It's like driving a car.
When I take a solo on stage, I don't know what I'm going to play. I know where I'm going to end up so I can finish it, but what I'm going to do after I start, no idea.
If things are so good that you forget you're even on stage and come back and go, oh, I'm on stage playing, that's how good it was.
Sometimes playing is just like being in a dream. It's a real, you know, wild and euphoric situation.
When I play, I feel like I totally dissolve and like just sort of start to spread out across the floor, more so than lifting. It's like I become water.
The song kind of takes me wherever, you know, wherever it's coming from. I mean, you know, just like with sounds, you know, certain sounds sounds like water. Certain sounds sound like air.
Maybe I'm gonna try to play to the environment here. bass player, you might use thousands of watts of power to vibrate the entire room. And the question becomes, how does that affect your ego? And can you really let go and play music when you're in a situation of such power? Is ego a good thing in music, or does it just...
I don't know. That's a good question, you know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if ego's good or not. I think it's good in basketball. You know, but I don't know. I mean, and basketball is really close to music, so maybe it is good. I don't know. I don't know. I can't answer that question.
How important...
No, it's bad. Ego's bad. Fuck ego.
Gonna get myself together in the morning. To leave this town until the now. Said the black cats in the bad hats doing me a real big favor. Bad cats in the bad hats playing it on real good. It's a time, boy. Give me a shine, boy. Oh. Need a friend, getting in a New York City. Down and out in New York City.
I always tell my students, take your ego, put it in your back pocket, and sit on it. Because the music is really going to happen when you are blending, become a part of a fine tapestry of sound and creativity and feeling. And it transcends you and takes you somewhere else when you really get locked into that.
If you're just another observer checking it out, even though you happen to be playing, and just enjoy how it sounds, then there's no ego involved. You're checking it out. You're like one of the audience members.
I always say that, you know, it's like being channeled, you know, to a higher force, you know. And when I acknowledge that and go to play, it makes it easier for me to kind of get out of the way.
That's a gift. That's something that, you know, most guys that play, if you play like that, you're blessed with it. It's something, you know, beyond my comprehension. I'm just thankful that I'm part of it.
The music is coming from the gods.
Okay.
I mean, we don't create it. We don't create the music. The music it exists, and we are permitted, I think, to hear it when we're in the right psychic space.
When you really get in that zone, it's like you're standing apart from it, watching it happen, and it's like you're in the audience, and you're just like, wow, yeah.
Lying here for hours, can't get my eyes to close. Can get one moment's peace to save my doggone soul. Been doing more than drinking, trying to ease my pain. Everywhere I go, somebody speaks your name. Oh, my friends keep on asking, boy, what's wrong with you? I say I'm worried down with the blues.
One thing I'm finding about Woody was that a lot of other bass players were inspired by his playing, including one tiny little bass player.
was Father's Day, because this was in June. And during the Steve Miller tour, I was doing bass changes on stage and sitting behind the drums. And I went out to hand him a bass on stage at Great Woods. There's like 20,000 people out there, and he shouts at me, "Hey, Bush," and I'm like, "Oh no, what did I do wrong?" It's like, "It's Father's Day, do you call your old man yet?" I'm like, it's the middle of a show, you're worried about whether I've called my father for Father's Day, but that's the kind of thing that would roll off the top of his head. He was making sure that you're right by your family. I mean, Woody loved his kids so much that you couldn't meet Woody without hearing about Savannah.
She loves Gov't Mule. She knows the lyrics to the songs, which may be something she shouldn't. Hi. She somewhat mimics her father, and about a year and a half ago, Alan and I bought her some headset earphones, and she started to go to shows. She went to a number last summer, and she loved it. She danced, and it was a very big thrill for her to see her dad up on the stage, and likewise for Alan. I could tell just watching him, he loved it when he would see Savannah dance.
To use everything that I've learned from watching these great bass players. Let's see. Well, they were all people who listened to a lot of different kinds of music and incorporated that into their playing. So, well, I listened to a lot of bluegrass. So I can incorporate that in. And then they forgot about their influences, and they found their own voice in the instrument. Well, I do this a lot. I mean, other people have done it, but it's one of the things that I do. So I'll try to incorporate that thing. But then the other thing that these bass players did was just forget about everything, really surrender to the moment, and I'm just going to try not to think for a second. Oops, I thought.
Hey, you're late on man. God damn it, I'm slow, huh? You were jabbing my jaw. Igor, help him with his bass.
Slow, happy boys, deal with their frustrations, different than everybody else. Slow, happy boys, deal with their frustrations, different than everybody else. Well, I tried and I tried to get you over my mind. Better believe it's true.
My dad was a sailor in the Navy and stuff. He never understood music or what I was doing, but at the end I started sending him cards, and he told me, you're like a sailor. And it's kind of like that. You're almost making choices until Scotty gets that transporter room fixed, We gotta drive around, sail. I call my van the boat.
I don't think you can lead a normal life on the road. I think if you stay on the road long enough or too long, that becomes your sense of normalcy.
You're like a kid going out to camp or something.
Wood in Rio, specializing in swimmix.
Well, the decathlon is coming up, Beach.
It's just a dream, you know. Nothing's really real. Whatever you do out there doesn't seem to really matter when you're in the middle of it.
Welcome to my country.
Take it over your way a little. Okay. See that white line? Just make it come right down through there. Holy. I'm in my underwear.
You get a little irresponsible. You don't always call home like you're supposed to, and you forget birthdays. You forget what day it is.
Woody was never really easy for a lot of people just because of the weird hours he would keep. But he didn't sleep a lot. I mean, that's really, you know, he'd kind of like Brian Farmer, he'd nod off while sitting up for a couple hours and, you know, fall asleep. And he'd fall asleep randomly throughout the day. He kept everything light, you know, and he'd see if I was having a stressful day or, you know, if I got off of bed talking to my girlfriend, you know, one of those come-home kind of conversations. He'd sense it and then just, you know, pack a bowl, put on a good movie, put on a good CD, and just get your mind off of it.
What are we listening to here, Wood? Sly? Graham Central Station. Larry Graham was the bass player in Sly. All right. Bye-bye. See ya. Bye-bye.
It's definitely not a healthy environment out there.
That's sort of what every traveling musician is up against. You know, you lead a dual life, and sometimes the lines between those two lives become real blurry.
After months and months and months, sometimes you just want to go home.
Only the darkness can keep you warm on an evil night like this. Are you looking for someone to give you a little arm a twist? Everybody needs some danger sometimes. I'm no different. Just think of me as your equal. I won't undress you. I won't hold you down. I won't stick a knife in your back the way you did that clown. Can you feel it? Can you taste it? Yeah, you must have seen it coming. Surely you could have guessed. The game is up.
What happened to Alan? Did he kind of get swallowed up by the rock and roll world or in a way? Or...
So many people do.
To confess.
I mean, this is a hell of a business to be in, to try to make a marriage and children and all that work. It's nothing like any other kind of business because you're always gone.
You better pray this never is. I myself can play the victim. I'll do whatever the part demands. You saw me watch watching you. You had time to run. Ain't it enough that you torture me? You had to go for his gun. Can you feel it? Can you taste it? Yeah, you must have seen it coming. Surely you could have guessed. Came this up. I'm gonna take you down. No more crying. I think it's time to confess. You won't see no bright lights burning, but you'll feel the heat. Yeah, this is how it happens. When strangers turn to lovers, turn to enemies. Did you feel it? Can you taste it?
I tried to give what little advice I could to try to steer him in a direction, you know. And but you know, you never know what's going on in a mind, and also, of course, in the world of drugs, things happen.
No more crying. I think it's time to confess.
You know, that's the bass line that Woody was playing in his instructional video. I think I'm kind of realizing that there's not too much difference between me and Woody in certain ways, or at least we're a lot more similar than I thought. I mean, we're both people that listen to a lot of different kinds of music, and you know, neither one of us is the most well-respected bass player in the world, but we were both kind of on the path to finding our voices. You know, I was thinking, why do I get to be on this album with Entwistle and all these people? You know, aside from the fact that I was around, so okay, let's let him do it. But and then I was watching my Oricam footage, and I thought, that's pretty unique. Maybe I do have my own voice on the instrument that I've discovered. And as for Woody, you know, he didn't make it, and that could have happened to me or to anyone, to, you know, to meet an early end like that.
Woody died like all musicians don't want to die, in a hotel room somewhere away from their loved ones, you know.
Out at the funeral home, the Phish and I were different ones, told me different things that he had done on the road. And I never knew it was, he had so many friends on the road till I was at the funeral, you know.
If you were at the funeral, you would have seen he was a buddy to everybody that came there. He was a good guy and a nice person. And even though he was sitting there, still looked mean, you know. It was like, that's our buddy, you know. That's our buddy, Captain Al, Big A.W., Woody.
They lost their guy. I mean, I totally can relate to that dilemma. But you know, we're all here to learn something. There's lessons somehow that you do gotta get on over still. But you don't lose them. It's like vocabulary. You just add another words to those original paragraphs. You know, and I think that's what Warren's doing here, and Matt. It's really a special thing they're doing for him, because he can still live in a weird way. You know, not through the blood and the flesh so much, but spirit.
When you can't find the light that guides you through a cloudy day, when the stars ain't shining bright and it feels like you lost your way, when the candlelights of home burn so very far away, well, you got to let your soul shine, just like my daddy used to say so.
The most exciting moment of a record is that, like, right before it comes out and you know it's great and the whole world's about to find out.
Damn sure better than rain. Well, now people don't mind. We all feel this way sometimes. Well, you gotta let your soul shine, shine till the break of day.
Hey, we gotta listen to that, man. There's a frog over there. Is that Woody? Woody, is that you over there? That could be Woody coming to me in another animal.
Life can take the strongest man, make him feel so alone. Now sometimes I feel a cold wind blowing through my aching bone. I think back to what my daddy said. He said, boy, in this darkness before the dawn, let your soul shine. Oh, it's better than sunshine. It's better than moonshine. Damn sure better than rain. Well, now people don't lie. We all feel this way sometimes. Gotta let your soul shine, shine till the break of day. Sometimes a man can feel this emptiness, like a woman has robbed him of his very soul. Woman too, Lord knows she can feel like this. Your world seems